Shalom. First off, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadash. Yahweh being true name, Heavenly Father. Yahushai being named His only begotten Son, who the word Igli calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give divine honors to our apostles, divine honors to our elders, great millstone, the touch of truth and will, citations to hope, like witness truth, and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yawasap, which you know, lesson to the spirit, power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, and this lessons to the spirit. Going to do this yet again, another wicked pagan holiday that everyone's about to celebrate. They call it Halloween, but the origins of it, the true holiday name is actually Samhain, and it's spelled Samhain, but Samhain is the origins of this. Everything has a specific meaning, when it comes to these big holidays. They're not just at random. You gotta ask yourself where they get this whole concept of carving pumpkins and, why they pick one day of the year to celebrate a bunch of spooky stuff when every other time throughout the year you wouldn't want to be associated with those things. Why do they dedicate one day of the year for it? So you look up the origins and you go to find out that you've been participating in something that is very sinister. And the Lord hates it, and He's going to kill a lot of people for celebrating it. Okay? So let's get some more information on it. Okay, so Samhain, which is pronounced Samhain. Samhain or Samhain is a Gaelic festival on November 1st, marking the end of the harvest season and beginning of winter, or the darker half of the year. It is also the Irish and Scotic Gaelic name for November. Okay, it says celebrations begin on the evening of 31st of October, since the Celtic day began and ended at sunset. All right, so you can see the date, and it's the same exact date as what people call Halloween. Okay. Let's see here. There was another definition we had. All right, I'll read the AI overview. What is the meaning behind Samhain? Samhain was an ancient Slovakia. Samhain was an ancient Celtic festival marking the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, viewed as the start of the Celtic New Year. Its core meaning is a time of transition and thinning of the veil between the living and the spirit world, allowing spirits of the dead to visit the living. Okay, and so this is what they really represents when you participate in this holiday, man. All right, it says down at the bottom here, it says marking of the new year. It says the thinning of the veil. The festivals is mostly strongly associated with the belief that the barrier between physical world and other world is weakest during this time, leading a greater presence of spirits, ghosts, and supernatural beings. So there's a lot of witchcraft, and they turn up a lot of stuff and conjuring demons and giving sacrifices to the spiritual demon Satan to gain more worldly power, money, and success. So they convinced the whole nation into participating in it. Okay. It says ancestral and spiritual significance. It was a time to honor the dead, and some practices like fortune telling were conducted during the festival, as spirits were believed to make it easier to predict the future. Let's see here. It says ancient traditions. Key practices include lighting large bonfires, with families taking flames back to their homes to relight the hearths. There were also costumes to disguise themselves from or scare away spirits. The traditions of Samhain heavily influenced the modern-day Halloween, which evolved as it was eventually blended with the Christian holiday All Saints' Day on November 1st. So, of course, the church adopted it, to get the pagans to come to give more tithe money. It's all about money. It was a money grab. So, fast forward today, it didn't turn into, a national holiday that's been celebrated for years here in America. But it is demonic and it is witchcraft. Okay, and the carving of the vegetables, it started out with like potatoes and turnips, and they would take those and carve, I guess sculptures out of them to represent like demons, and then they would put a candle there inside of it to ward away spirits. So all of it is has a lot of demonic origins, man, and you shouldn't be involved in it. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American person that believes in the Most High and His only begotten Son, and you're trying your best to keep the commandments, you shouldn't be participating in this wicked pagan day, man. Samhain deals with Wicca, Halloween traditions. It's just a day of dark evil. The brothers was just chatting the other day that this year it feels very extra sinister. The animatronics and things that they got for these decorations is on big demon time. Like, I haven't seen such off the wall decorations and robots and all sorts of shit for Halloween until this year. Like, this is the most I've ever seen. I peeped in one of them stores. They actually have certain pop-up stores that only open during Halloween to get people to buy costumes. And inside there, man, like, it's like a damn horror movie inside that place, man. It was like, wow, just the amount of decorations that they got for sale for people. Like, they really pushing this stuff, man. Like, they have these giant, like, 9-foot, statues you can buy of skeletons and, demons and witches and monsters and shit. It's like, man, like, what are you people doing, man? But hey, we at the end, so the demonic energy is picked up. It's Ecclesiastes 39:28 says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay, so there is a such thing as demons and dark spirits that, cause torment and fear, and even cause death in people. Okay? And they are there created to appease the wrath of the Heavenly Father. It's for those that come against him and his chosen, Israelites that have become wicked, not keeping law, statutes, commandments, and doing adultery and all sorts of stuff, man. Those spirits are created to punish them. So you shouldn't go out playing around and seeking demons and fucking around with Ouija boards and shit. Because them spirits that you get to talking to, those are the Lord's hitmen. Like, they fuck people up. And they take pleasure in doing it. That's what they were created to do. So any anger the Lord has, he can just, show it and let you people feel his anger through these demons, those spirits created for vengeance. So this is not something you want to toy with. This isn't some type of damn museum display and recreational use of seeking out, some type of reaction from the spirit world, fucking with Ouija boards and stuff and doing witchcraft and demons and praying to these different entities, try to get success. You playing with something that's deadly. This is Deuteronomy 18:10. It says, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. Right, man? So, should be nobody found around you that's getting involved with this type of stuff. And you're definitely not supposed to put your kids through it. You think it's innocent that, they just getting candy and dressing up and having fun and getting costumes. Well, the origins around the specific time and date to do it goes back to something demonic and evil. And you're, ignorantly or willfully ignorantly participating in it and, supporting that type of cause to be pushed out on an entire nation of people. So just, hey, if all the time of the year you can get some hands on a damn costume and get ordered on Amazon, why they got to be specifically on Samhain Day? People just look for an excuse, continue in their wickedness. They don't want to stop their traditions because they don't want, they don't want to make their kids sad or be looked at some type of way from other people questioning them, and why all of a sudden they're not doing those same things no more. Some people, they worship the opinions of others instead of Heavenly Father. This is 2 Kings 17:17. It says, and they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahweh, to provoke him to anger. Right, man? So our people, they cause their children to get involved and get to the fire and be worthy of judgment by the Heavenly Father for getting involved in this witchcraft and shit. A lot of that stuff and the traditions y'all doing and some of the customs, you straight up, ignorantly or participate in a lot of rituals and stuff, man. And the Lord, they're not of the Heavenly Father. This is Leviticus 19:31. It says, regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am Yahweh your God. So you're not supposed to be concerned with, fortune tellers and going to tarot card readings and palm readings and, it says regard not them that have familiar spirits. And also, so you want to stay away from all of that. And right now, it's a good time to definitely anoint yourself, because there's a lot of sacrificing that's going on by these elites, and we can feel the energy is heavy right now. Brothers is going through it and experiencing different things to show that these spirits are definitely turned up, so and something, the earth is about to feel the pain, be shook here in a minute. The United States is about to experience its first serious, set of events that it has in decades. So people's lives are about to be very uncomfortable. Okay, so stay prayed up, pay attention to what's going on at the times and what's happening around you. So with that, Lord's will is us edifying. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, Dabanos to our apostles, Dabanos to our elders, great millstone, that taught truth and will well, and cite to who believes in truth and honest sincerity. Shalom.